Here we are at Travels with Jeannie Part 2. You may notice that she doesn't talk a whole lot, but that's because she later told me she was intimidated by us, and especially by me, because she'd been a long-time follower. But as we got to know each other better, she loosened up some, and you'll hear more of her in this video and probably the next. With that, let's get this video rolling. Joe Rader. Little community. It's first thing in the morning. Just waking up. And I'm gonna get my chair and visit Sid. He's the only one up so far. This is like 3 weeks after Sturgis ended. Oh, we're gonna drink coffee with Sid for a minute. Yeah. Mr. Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal. What's Jeannie call you, Stud Muffin?
Not just her.
Who else?
Several people around that call me that.
Yeah. I ain't hearing any names.
Well, I don't want to brag.
Don't want to brag. Actually, he does want to brag. He just don't
telling
have
you.
nothing to brag about. That's what it is.
What kind of gas mileage do you get on that electrical eye?
This bike gets really shitty mileage. It likes low to mid 30s. That's what it likes to get, and my new one's getting it's a lot better mileage. I got 46 on one trip. Its idea of bad mileage is high 30s. So I'm leaving that bike like it is, man. People talk about upgrades for their motorcycles. Get this upgrade, I did an upgrade. I'm like, in touring, there's things that are more important than power. Things like heat, reliability. Gas mileage is at the top of that list. You get 50 miles a gallon, right? That's at the top of that list.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, more important than power, man. And for touring, for traveling.
Level, like the same temperature at night as it was during the day?
Yeah. For the most part, yeah. He likes this weather here. He thinks it's perfect. And it has. It's been very nice. But the nights are kind of cold.
Yeah, and you got Deadwood here, you got Sturgis there. I mean, it's like...
We got the rec centers. There's
like
things going on around here.
It's like living in a picture.
Living in a picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Look at that. The princess is up. Our princess. Joe's throwing that thing out. I got 2 suggestions for it.
Yeah.
It's getting cold and she gets cold at night. It's getting cold at night. One is put it over the tent at night, but be careful because your poles are weak.
Right.
So you don't want to break them. And the other is fold it up and put it underneath you. You won't be getting cold from the ground.
No doubt about that.
That'll make a major difference if you fold it up and slide it under the tent or underneath you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That blanket
Look at this new
turned out
tarp.
to be down.
Is it?
Yes. It's perfect.
Oh my God.
I slept through the night.
I am jealous now. I would have bought it if I'd have known that. I need to replace mine.
I mean, the feathers are coming out everywhere, but who cares? It's warm.
Well, they always do that. Down always does that. Yeah.
So, yeah, those are 2 good suggestions.
It's down?
Yes. It is.
Jesus, I would have bought it if I'd have known that. Mine's fucked up.
See how the feathers are coming out.
Well, if when you leave you decide to give it up, you know who wants it.
Right?
I'll buy it back from you.
Maybe. I've collected so much stuff since I've been here. I think like
That always happens.
2 sweatshirts. All kinds of stuff. People are leaving with me.
That always happens. Damn. I knew you could do it, son. Bet you they're going to breakfast, them two. They do that every day. I guess they're gonna do laundry too. Me, I like sitting home in the morning, not getting up and running out. I'm gonna work on another video. Me and Jeannie been buying food and keeping it in that box.
You know that water that I got day before yesterday in my Yeti still has ice in it.
Oh, you got a Yeti.
I put,
Ooh.
I put it in the shade. Yeah, well.
Sit down so I can film.
When I had a job, yeah, I could do that.
Bring yourself back into a catechism.
It's the little boy again. We have Junior over there. He's got a 6-year-old mentality. What's it say?
Garlic parsley.
Garlic parsley. Let's try it. Cut the cheese.
Well,
Cut the cheese.
Cut it on.
Oh, well, get the...
Are you sure you want me to cut this cheese?
Get the cutting board out here. There it is. There it is. That's it.
Saying too much profanity. Lack of a full vocabulary.
Yeah, we don't need any comments from the peanut gallery out here.
Saying so much profanity, that's ow!
Yeah, see, it's fucking karma. Everybody's packing up. Where are you going, Sid?
Going with Corey and Joe, and I'm heading toward Nashville.
You gonna go to that party thing they're going to?
I don't know. Depends. Just sure we won't be there for a couple of days.
Yeah. Sounds like something to do.
How long you staying?
I don't know. I'm feeling like going pretty soon, but a lot of times when it's still good, I don't want to leave because the next place may not be as good, you know? I've done it before. So they're all getting out, except it's going to be Jeannie over there and Joe Rader left. And I even think he's leaving tomorrow. Who's left here in camp is just me and Jeannie, and I'm sure I've been here a month. I guess maybe she has too. I mean, I settle into places more. I'm not the hard traveling all the time thing. So everybody else is left. But what we're doing today is we're just getting rid of stuff. People left stuff. I got rid of 3 chairs. They left towels and glasses, and we're just thinning out for to leave today. So this is kind of what's left. That's all going to the dumpster. And she's taking down her big tent. Be leaving here in a couple of days, maybe. And she's moving into her small tent. I don't know why. That's what she decided to do. And oh, looks like it's pretty heavy when you pack all that junk on there. 2 tents and everything.
Well, I accumulated.
Well, you got to unaccumulate. That's what we're trying to do now.
A blanket, a thermal shirt, 2 sweatshirts. So yeah, we've accumulated some things. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you can fit it. Jeannie and I are the last ones here at Camp 5. And she's had trouble with her bike, and there's been carburetor problems. And I guess they put gear drive cams in it, and after that it never would run right. She took it back to the guy a bunch of times. He messed with the carburetor. It runs okay, but it's got this one funky problem, and I believe I figured out what it is. Let's take a look. She's in that little bitty tent. Bike's on the other side over there in the parking lot. A couple days ago, I was down in Rapid City, and a guy ran me down at a stoplight, and forget the name of his shop. Actually, I didn't get the name of his shop. I think I got his card, but he's got a little shop he's been working on. But he stopped me, and he's like, "Yeah, come on back to my shop." So I did. We talked for hours, gearhead stuff, because we're both gearheads. He's better than me. He's been working on these things since the 70s. But he had a pile of parts, and he gave me Jeannie's parts, and so we're going to put them in and see if they work. There it is. So we're going to just pull this thing apart, pull this carburetor off. All right, now, if you look, this thing's got one of them plastic slides in it, right? And that thing is not sliding up. It's one of them kits. The kits never did work in these. We all tried them. Well, lots of us tried them, and then we took them out. Greg, whose shop I was at, he said the same thing. He said, those things are junk. Take them out. So I've got her a stock one and a stock needle. And you can see there's very little wear on it. See on the corners right here? They wear right here on the side. You can see where it started to. But there's no grooves worn into it. Nothing my finger hooks into. And even when they're worn, they work. This one's just not in really bad shape. So I'm going to pull this carburetor off. I'm leaving the cleaning part to the cleaning lady here. She's just cleaning out the top of that carburetor. Okay, I got the top of that carburetor off. Here. This is what I pulled out of it, this plastic thing. You guys see it? You see this needle with the C-clip on it? On the top here, it's got a C-clip. I don't know if you can see that. But these are what I pulled out of it, okay? So, this is a stock needle. They're shaped like a nail. If you want to lift them up and richen them up some, then you got to put these little shims underneath to lift them up. But generally, I never need to. I just like to leave it as stock as I can. Look at that. This stock one's a lot thinner on the bottom. Huh. Well, I don't invent these things. So, I also have this, right? Of course, we're putting the metal one back in. Now, for the... I think this thing's leaking, but I can't find any holes in it. But what I did find is, see the way it lifts up here? When you turn it around, it doesn't lift up on this side. Not at all. I think it's leaking. And look at the extra holes in the bottom of it. It's different, huh? Back in the days when they were selling these things, a lot of us tried them, and we all took them out because these kits didn't work. When the CV carburetors were new, I think they put them on in like 1988 or something on Harleys, and none of the guys I knew how to set them up, how to tune them for when you put on pipes and a cam and a carb and shit. And so these guys started making all these kits. Well, the truth is, I made a video about tuning carburetors, and the reason I did it was because I went on YouTube and looked for a CV tuning video, and none of them, they were all about putting in a kit and stuff like that, and I was like, no way, man. Really, what they mostly need is bigger jets. Mostly, you can just get away with putting bigger jets in. You could change the needle, maybe, if you think you need it a little richer, or you can shim the needle. But my shit just always has bigger jets in it. And see, but that doesn't make a kit. So the guys who make the kits, they began to do all this weird stuff with the slide. What this is supposed to do is make the slide move faster and increase throttle response when you hit it. It's supposed to go up quicker. It never made any difference on any of the shit I did, and any of the ones I tried, one of them, okay? And all my friends said, take that fucker out. We tried them, it didn't work. We're hoping the stock stuff's going to work right. So, I guess that's about it. I'm going to put this in, and we're going to see how it runs. Hopefully, cross your fingers, because you never know. Okay, now I'm putting these caps on. This rubber's got to sit down in that slot. The edge of this rubber sits in that slot in the carburetor. Are you getting that? You need to get up closer. See it? Needs to sit down into that slot. This thing needs to be sealed. And so, when putting this on, you want to make sure you get that in right. Sometimes I got to reach in and move the slide up and down a little bit. That's way down in there. It's weird. But anyways, this one went right on. But if it doesn't, you're going to play with it. Oops. Yeah, that one went right on. You play with the slide, reach your fingers in there, move it around, get it to go down there real nice. That's what you need, okay? Okay, now before this slide here wasn't moving. That slide right there is not hooked to the throttle. It works off barometric pressure, which I don't understand. But when you turn the throttle, you open the butterfly behind that slide, and that slide comes up as the motor sucks more air in. Okay, it comes up with what the motor wants. And I won't bother explaining why all that happens. It keeps the velocity constant. It's a good idea, really. But the old plastic slide wasn't working. I would hold the gas on, I'd have to open it a long way before that slide even started coming up, okay? And so the bike was choking and spitting and sputtering, it just wasn't getting enough gas because that fucking thing was not moving. So let's look at this one. See, it moves right away. So what I did really was just put stock stuff back in it. These carburetors mostly just need bigger jets to make them work right. If you can keep the stock needle and everything, do it. For your best gas mileage, and you know, just what I've learned over the years is the factory knows more than I do. They know more than all these aftermarket guys too. So, but if you put on a cam, put in pipes and an air filter, and especially if you put in a cam, then you've got to richen it up. And they come running lean from the factory anyway for smog purposes. Even the carbureted bikes did. So you maybe can go up a little even on a stock bike, but not much. Basically, leave as much as you can alone, man. It's time to leave Camp 5, and the last people here is me and Jeannie. She's back over there, and we're going to travel together for a while. We're kind of going the same direction. And we just stayed here last night, and we're moving on today. She camped over there. So you ready to get out of here? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, say bye to Camp 5. All the other things.
Yeah, it's time. Everywhere I go these days, it seems more and more people have realized and know that something really big is going on in the world today. And there's a lot of different talk about what to do about it. Some people are hoarding food. There's a bunch of different ideas. There's lots of videos about it, right? But nobody can seem to figure out what the solution is. But right now, I'm going to tell you what the weapons of the enemy are, okay? They are the mainstream media, the bank, central banking system, the corporations, all now centrally controlled, and the military-industrial complex that Eisenhower warned us about, that Smedley Butler, the most decorated Marine in history at the time of his death, warned us about as well. You can look him up. He comes right up. You guys who work for them, you took an oath. The enemy is now domestic. We all know that. Now, who works for these institutions? We do. Who are their customers? We are. What would happen if we stopped doing that? Well, we'd hit them right in the money belt, right where they live, right? The big thing for them. So as maybe you can see, the fault of all this is the people for not paying attention. And I have 2 other channels. These are them. I hope you go over there. You can go to either one of those. Beware of Rumble. BlackRock controls it now. But the other ones are pretty good. Without you guys, there's going to be another part of Travels with Jeannie coming up, of course. And I'll see you over there.